Hi, I'm Chris with Premier Guitar. We're at the Frankfurt Musikmesse, and we're talking with Diane Ponzio about the new Martin D1 series.
Hi, everybody. It's a real pleasure to be here.
Pleasure to be able to talk to you about these new guitars. Really stunning.
Yeah, you know,
guitars.
the 1 series historically for Martin Guitar was a pioneer to begin with. In 1993, it was the very first Martin guitar to utilize laminate woods. And in that way, at first everybody poo-pooed it, but it became an affordable Martin guitar that didn't sacrifice the thing that we most cherish, which is tone. We have a kind of a crisis now because the availability of genuine South American mahogany is getting scary. So we are, as guitar makers and guitar players, at a point where we don't want to sacrifice the most important thing, tone. What's most important to the Martin Guitar Company is a great sounding guitar that will last longer than us.
Yeah.
And the 1 series seeks to give you all of that. I think we concur that the 3 most important aspects of an acoustic guitar is the top, the way the neck and the body are joined, and the finish. And what this guitar does is seek to give you the best of that. So in terms of woods, what you have here is a solid spruce book-matched quarter sawn top, solid book-matched sapele back and sides, actual binding, which is something we didn't do on the 15 series or the Road series, Indian rosewood bridge and fingerboard. Now that's pretty awesome. What's behind this that makes it even more magical in terms of me, you know, in terms of my own looking into and listening as a player, is underneath the top is what we call bracing.
Yeah.
And the original D1 featured a new kind of bracing for Martin guitar, a departure from the X brace. It was called A-frame. It had an X in it, but it was mostly up here, was very different, significantly different. Then, some years later, there was the desire to take the best of the old style scalloped X bracing and combine it with the new bracing, and that was the birth of the 16 series. And the 16 series are great. Why? Because the top from here down features scalloped bracing. So the D1 seeks to borrow that great tonal advantage, because when you have scallop bracing, the top just vibrates more. So this guitar features Martin scalloped bracing from here.
Yeah.
At this price point, it's kind of phenomenal. How are we able to do this is here. We've been able to save a tremendous amount of money in terms of materials by using this. This is called Stratabond. Stratabond is familiar to many of your aficionados because it features heavily on the X series guitars. What is Stratabond? Stratabond is a series of striations of wood, actually. It's butcher block.
Yeah.
It doesn't have the kind of tone properties that solid mahogany does. However, what this guitar does, it gives you the most important aspect of a neck is that it stays stiff. It's got to be comfortable, but it's got to stay stiff. And Stratabond is probably stronger than a 2x4. On top of that, what you have here is how the neck and the body are connected. It's not with bolts. It's actually integrated in something we call Mortise and Tenon, which is like a machine-routed dovetail. The guitar features our Satin Finish. The Satin Finish, the finish is so critical to the sound of the wood. If you have a high-gloss plastic finish on an instrument, it's death to the sound because it traps the wood. Our nitrocellulose lacquer and satin finishes allow the wood to vibrate and remain tonal because they're porous. They allow the wood to vibrate, which is why today is the worst this guitar is ever going to sound.
Yeah, it's going to open up a lot.
Oh my God, and it's pretty cool right now.
Yeah,
but what I love about now we have it in a 2 cutaway models, an orchestra model and the Dreadnought, and full body. There's the orchestra model we're panning to right now. And the features are identical in terms of woods. But what I love about the onboard electronics at this price point is, you know, really pro audio features. First of all, we have something that's unusual. Usually to access a tuner on an acoustic electric, you have to plug it in. This differs here. You can access the tuner immediately by just pressing tuner. You have something I love as a player, a phase button. When you plug in, you're either in or out of phase with the system, whether it's an amp or a PA. And this gives you the capability to check that and subjectively choose which one you like. You have a notch filter, which gives you the capability to kind of slice out a particular frequency that may be feeding back because you're standing in front of a kick drum.
Stage quite frequently.
Yeah, you'd never have frequently. That's a good pun. And then you've got brilliance, was like that high shimmer, and then you got your usual parametric abilities of low, mids, and highs, and a volume. Like this is a unbelievable feature on this kind of a price guitar. So what you have here is basically, I can tell you when they're not making a lot of money on this model. This model is not about high margin. This model is about delivering the absolute essentials to the player without sacrificing longevity in the instrument, and certainly our number one priority, tone. So we've got the full-bodied dreadnought without any electronics or a cutaway. We've got the cutaway with the electronics, and the same goes for the orchestra models. So, you know, I'm pretty proud to be associated with this kind of quality.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Yeah, it's one, and you know, it really responds to even, you know,
Touch.
picking.
You just keep playing and I'll sign out. The new Martin D1 series. I'm Chris Burgess. You're watching PremierGuitar.com.